So, hallo und herzlich willkommen zurück zu Let's Play Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. Wir sind jetzt in einer sehr interessanten Situation. Wir haben es geschafft, aus der Müllkippe zu entkommen und sind jetzt quasi... ja, wir haben einen kleinen Deal mit Monokuma gemacht. Wir untersuchen den Fall nochmal, bestimmen, wer wirklich Mikro umgebracht hat. Es hieß ja, einer der Schüler, also einer der Teilnehmer des Spiels muss es gewesen sein. Und ja... Wir haben nochmal die Möglichkeit, nach allen Regeln der Kunst das Ganze aufzuklären. Wir müssen aber auch herausfinden, wer tatsächlich hinter der ganzen Sache steckt und was es sonst noch für Geheimnisse in dieser Schule gibt. Das alles muss ergründet werden. Und jetzt heißt es, wir sollen erstmal zu den anderen gehen. Wobei natürlich Kyoko jetzt gerade ein bisschen misstrauisch den anderen gegenüber ist. Aber wer kann es ihr verdenken? Müssen wir jetzt irgendwie bei den Leuten klingeln? This is Byakuya's room. Is he inside?
Hey.
I don't think he's here. Come on, we need to keep looking. Ich schau noch mal kurz. Toko haben wir hier. This is Toko's room. Is she inside?
Hey.
I don't think she's here. Come on, we need to keep looking. Aoi ist da vorne. This is Hina's room. Is she inside?
Hey.
I don't think she's here. Come on, we need to keep looking. Ja, du sagst auch immer nur dasselbe. Dann bleibt da jetzt nur noch Yasuhiro übrig. This is Hiro's room. Is he inside?
Hey.
I don't think he's here. Come on, we need to keep looking. Moment. In dem Raum von einem Toten sind die ja jetzt nicht, oder? The door won't budge, it must be locked. Das heißt, die sind nicht hier. Okay, die Tür ist offen. Ist die nicht bei Nacht normalerweise zu? And suddenly we were greeted with... You again. Is he broken? I suppose his emotional instability reached its limit. Okay. AG to the power... Also AG hoch 3... Hier sind wir gleich... Okay, irgendein komischer Kram. Jeez, what the heck?
However...
I wonder what that was all about. I couldn't help but let out a sigh of relief. Ah.
Is that Makoto?
You guys!
It is! There's no two ways about it. That's Makoto.
Huh? You survived?
Jeez, you're like a stubborn little cockroach, you know that?
Nettes Kompliment.
I'm just asking to make sure, but you're not a ghost, right?
Everyone was there. All my friends who had struggled together and survived. As soon as I saw their faces, I couldn't help myself. I started to tear up.
What?
What? Wait. What's that smell?
What the heck?
Yeah, man, that seriously stinks. It's Makoto. He smells like a wet dog. Get away. Shoo, shoo. And in a flash, my tears dried up.
Yo!
Makoto, what was it like hanging out in the spirit world? I didn't go to the spirit world.
You know?
Did you get to talk to her? Who?
Hmm.
Miss Cleo. No, I didn't talk to her. I mean, I didn't go to the spirit world. I mean, who the heck is Miss Cleo? Ugh, you stink. Are you rotten?
I'm telling you!
Rotten physically, mentally, every way you can be rotten. Sorry, I was rolling around in garbage for a while. This smell is so smelly. Super smelly. You smell even worse than me. Way worse than me. I win. She seems happy for some reason. So what have you guys been doing while I was gone? Well, we figured that since the trial was over, we'd have access to new places again. And? No dice. All the rooms that were locked before were still locked. So there weren't any new areas. Then where can we go to find new clues? I still can't believe you survived. Yeah, me either. Do you realize why it is you escaped execution? It was alter ego. He saved my life.
That's right.
Not too many people can say they had their life saved by a computer program. I imagine it was a learning experience for you.
Makoto.
There's no time to indulge in an extended happy reunion. We need to explain to everyone what happened with Monokuma.
Yes.
Explain? Explain what? But is it okay that you're here? What if the mastermind catches you?
It's true.
That's related to what I have to tell you all. I need to tell you all about the last class trial. Last class trial?
In other words,
We're going to redo Mukuro's class trial.
Huh?
What? Seriously?
How about that?
What's the point of redoing it? Makoto killed her, right? No, I didn't do it. Like I keep telling you.
wrong.
Makoto isn't the killer. And of course it's not me or any of you. Then, who is it?
I see.
What she's saying is, it was all the work of the mastermind. What? You're saying the mastermind killed Mukuro?
That's right.
That's right. It was all an elaborate trap contrived by the mastermind. Makoto spotted the trap in time and did what he had to stop it.
However,
But his decision meant that he would have been the one to die.
What did you say?
You spotted the trap, did you, Makoto? You make it sound like it was easy.
however,
But executing Makoto, who wasn't the Blackhand, is a clear violation of the school regulations. The rules state that only the Blackhand is to be executed. The mastermind broke their own rules. Which is why I went and negotiated with them to have the trial one more time.
Huh?
And the mastermind agreed? Does that mean they really did break the rules? They had no choice but to agree. You used the TV broadcast to gain the leverage you needed, didn't you?
correct.
Very observant of you.
Naturally.
I recall what you said at the end of the last trial. When you said, now it's the mastermind that ensnared. That's what you were referring to.
Don't be mean.
Hey, I'm totally in the dark here. For anyone who doesn't understand, you can ask Kyoko to explain it again. Later. So knowing all this, what do we do now?
About that.
It's about to kill Mukuro, right? So our job is to expose the mastermind? But there's more to it than that, correct? Yeah. For us to win this time, we have to solve every last mystery surrounding the school. Every last mystery?
But
But we've been looking around all this time and we still don't know anything, right?
Anyway,
You've probably guessed already. But if we lose this time, everyone dies. Everyone?
No!
Ja, der ist ein bisschen panisch.
I hate you.
Hey, who said you could agree to those terms without talking to the rest of us? I'm fine with the way they are. I'm fine living here forever with Master. I, meanwhile, want to get out of here as soon as humanly possible. Anyway, at this point, the only way for us to survive is to unravel the truth. In other words, the decisive final battle. A rather interesting development, I'd say. But figuring out who the mastermind is and how they killed Mukuro and all the school's mysteries... It's pretty tall friggin' order. Maybe, but this time the trial's different. We know who our enemy is now. So if we work together and search as hard as we can, I'm sure we'll solve all those mysteries. I'm not so sure about that. Huh? I can't agree with the idea of working together with everyone. You can't agree? Why not? I mean, working together with everyone seems like the most obvious way to solve all the mysteries.
Indeed.
That's what I thought too, at first. Until Monokuma gave us that little hint of his. Hint?
It's a very polarizing approach, I know, but okay, enough puns. Anyway, here's a hint. I'm sure I told you this already, but this killing game began with 16 participants, all of them high school students. And the only people to take a single step in Hope's Peak since the killing game began are those 16 students.
I see.
Monokuma said that, did he? Then Kyoko's opinion is perfectly reasonable. Ja, die Frage ist jetzt immer noch, wer steckt wirklich dahinter? Huh? But why?
So, in other words...
If the mastermind really is the one who killed Mukuro as Kyoko says, then the mastermind would have had to set foot in the school, right? Monokuma could probably murder Mukuro, but there's no way he could have disguised the scene like that.
In other words...
But according to Monokuma, the only people who have set foot in Hope's Peak are the 16 students who have been taking part in the killing game. Then the mastermind is... There were 15 of us in the main hall at the very beginning. And in Mukuro, and you get 16. So the mastermind would have to be one of them?
That's right.
And of those 16 people we started out with, the only ones still alive are the people standing right here. Need to continue, or do you get it now?
What?
You're saying the mastermind is one of us?
No way!
You can't be serious.
Wait, we can't say for sure that's true yet. Monokuma might have just said all that to confuse us.
Indeed.
That's certainly a possibility, but only one among many. The mastermind being one of us is also a possibility. And that is one possibility we can't ignore. Yeah, I mean, they're an ultimate, right? The ultimate despair, so they must be a high schooler. You can't say it's not possible. But if one of us was the mastermind, then they'd have to be controlling Monokuma somehow, right? But did you ever see anyone acting suspicious anytime Monokuma was active?
Well,
Maybe they snuck off and controlled him in secret.
but
I don't care how sneaky you are, we would have noticed someone sneaking off that many times.
I'm right?
Then maybe Monokuma was on autopilot. Maybe they loaded up all the dialogue and actions beforehand. In that case, there's no way he could have had all those back and forth conversations with us. Well, it wouldn't be entirely impossible if they direct the flow of the conversation. Well, maybe, but still.
This is a school announcement. You've all probably figured this out by now, but at this point, the killing game has now entered true ending mode. So, in the name of fairness, I will unlock every room in the school. Look wherever you want. Solve the mystery in whatever way you see fit. Then we can all meet up at the class trial, okay?
How very magnanimous of him to unlock all the rooms.
That's fine.
The time for talk is done. Now we need to begin our investigation. But I was planning on working alone from the beginning anyway.
In the name of my family.
At this point I can rely only on myself, on the Togami blood flowing through my veins. I have no time to worry about the rest of you. Each of you must uphold your responsibility.
Goodbye.
Well then. After making his final statement, Byakuya left the dining hall. Master, he didn't take me with him.
Hey.
Do you blame him?
Without Master, the rest of you are like coffee with cream without the cream. Or coffee. You're totally useless. So, bye.
With that, Toko trudged out of the dining hall. And now she's gone. And you're gonna go off by yourself, right, Kyoko?
Indeed.
That's right. Which just leaves Makoto, Hina, and me.
You know?
In that case, I'm gonna go by myself too.
Just a second.
Wait, how come?
How about that?
Just wait and see. I'm gonna use my totally awesome spirit power to figure out the mastermind's identity. Laughing loudly, Hiro left the dining hall.
Everyone's really gonna go off by themselves?
What about you, Hina?
I guess I'll do the same thing.
But,
I mean, it's not that I don't trust everyone, you know?
cause, I
But
mean,
up till now, I haven't really been all that useful. I just depended on Sakura and everyone else.
You're not useless. If you hadn't been here, I would have died.
Makoto! That's really nice of you to say. But still, I know I've mostly been totally useless.
okay.
So I figure at least here at the end, maybe I can find something that'll help us all get out of here. So I'm gonna go off and do it all on my own. Okay, see ya later.
Hina was in surprisingly high spirits as she dashed out of the dining hall. And once again, it's just us two.
Indeed.
So you're gonna go off on your own too, right, Kyoko?
However,
Well, don't misunderstand. Just because we're going to do our searches separately doesn't mean we can't still work together.
so
That goes for all of us.
I think I see what you mean. Doing your own investigating doesn't mean we can't work together in the end. I should just see it as splitting up to cover more ground. And then we can get back together and share what we found. Yeah, that's right.
so then,
Well, I'd better get going. I have an endless list of things I need to check.
correct.
Monokuma said all the doors in the school had been unlocked, right? So we should be able to investigate every nook and cranny in the school.
We can visit all the places we couldn't go before.
Makoto.
Makoto, no matter what it takes, we have to uncover the truth. By any means necessary.
With that, Kyoko was gone. Leaving only me. I don't have time to waste either. I have to begin my search. I still can't believe the mastermind might be one of us. So that's what I have to prove. I prove that the mastermind isn't one of us. I'll expose the mastermind's true identity and solve the mystery of this school. And then we can all escape together. So, wir sind ein bisschen alleine. I guess I'll start by taking another look at Mukuro's Monokuma file. Due to the explosion, the victim's identity is unknown. They were, however, dead before the blast. The victim has been stabbed by a single time with a knife which went completely through the body. They had also been struck in the head with an object about as thick as a metal pipe. The body was covered with other wounds, but these were at least several days old. Once we find out who killed Mukuro Ikusaba, then we'll know who the mastermind is. So where should I start my investigation to figure out who killed her? I guess I should start with the rooms that were locked up till now. The headmaster's room, the biolab, and the door on the data center with Monokuma's face on it. Oh, and the second floor of the dorms where the gate was down before. That should be open now, right? After that, I'll have to double check the areas that are connected with the murder. Which means the garden, the dojo. Okay, time to get started. Places to check. Sind eine Menge. Das heißt, jetzt wird's ein bisschen dauern, bis wir alles haben, aber beginnen wir, würde ich sagen, einfach mal mit der zweiten Etage, mit den Schlafsälen. Das wird ja interessant, wieder in dem Fall dann mal ein Ort ohne irgendwelche Kameras. Ach nee, Quatsch. Ich hätte, glaube ich, ich Idiot, hätte da direkt unten hingehen müssen. Da ist ja eine Treppe, die vorher zu war. Ich bin aber auch zerstreut hier. Das ist doch nicht wahr, du. Ich muss einmal hier rein. Das war in der Nähe des Lagerraums, glaube ich. Genau, da können wir hin. Hier geht's jetzt hoch. The gate's open. We can finally check out the second floor of the dorms, which means I have to do it. This is the second floor of the dorms? It looks like some ancient ruins. Or no, it's more like a battlefield, like a bomb blew up here or something. Es gibt hier ein Zimmer, das man anschauen kann. Obwohl, es gibt hier mehrere Zimmer, die man anschauen kann. Aber gehen wir erstmal hier rein. Okay. Wir sehen auch hier wieder Blut. The bed is completely torn apart. I mean, it's not even really a bed anymore, it's just garbage. Aber man findet Monokuma-Münzen. I opened the door just a crack, glanced inside and immediately closed it again. There wasn't even a hint of a bathroom, just a big pile of rubble. Leave the area? Ja, mehr gibt's hier nicht zu sehen. Man sieht, dieser gesamte Bereich hier ist mehr oder weniger zerstört. Der Rest scheint halt irgendwie wieder hergerichtet zu sein. This is the girls' bathroom. Even in a place like this, I can't bring myself to go in. Du bist echt zimperlich, Junge. Und hier gibt's erstmal nichts. Was ist das denn? Ah. This room is filled with the lockers. It must have been for the Hope's Peak students who came before us. The class before us must have used these lockers. Man kann sich die einzelnen ansehen, aber hier haben wir zum Beispiel auch wieder Metallplatten. There's a metal plate mounted to the locker. I really want to know what's inside, but there's no way. I can't imagine any way to get this locker open. I'm not even gonna bother trying. Okay, hier sieht aus, als könnte man ihn öffnen. I wonder if I can open this locker. Nope, locked. There's a card reader installed on the door. That must be how to get the locker open. After all, it's pretty similar to the card readers for the locker rooms on the second floor of the school. And you have to use your e-handbook to open those up. So does that mean... Well, let's just give it a try. I took out my handbook and ran it across the card reader. And then... No luck. Maybe only the locker's owner can open it, which means none of us can do it. I wonder if we can open this locker. Nope, locked. There's a card reader, das hatten wir doch. Roll. Ja, e-handbook, was ist das? And then? Nope. No luck. Es gibt aber noch eine ganze Reihe mehr. Yes, there's this metal plate mounted on the locker. There's no way to get it open. It looks like this locker is already broken. Wonder if we can open this locker. Ja, wir kennen das Ganze. Ja. No luck. Irgendwo muss es doch einen geben, den wir öffnen können. So, I wonder if we can. Warum zum Henker ist das immer das Ganze? So. Der hier. Nope. There's a metal plate. Wir hatten das auch schon. can't imagine any way to get this locker open. I'm not even gonna bother trying. Okay, dann haben wir... Ah, den haben wir noch nicht. I don't think this locker's gonna open. Aber der daneben? I wonder if I can open this locker. Ja. Nope. Ich könnte natürlich überprüfen, ob das mit den E-Handbooks der anderen funktionieren würde. Oder vielleicht finden wir hier auch irgendwo eine Karte. Aber das hier sieht aus, als wäre das vom Schulleiter. Oh. Zumindest eine Art Suite. This room doesn't really feel like a student's room. It has a more adult atmosphere.
Correct.
It's the headmaster's private room. Kyoko!
Indeed.
I've been through this room several times already, but I still have I still have one little regret. So I decided to check it out one more time. A regret? Schauen wir uns erstmal um. There's a strange gap in the wall. Is this some kind of design mistake or a construction defect or something?
So...
There's a gap here, but not just any normal gap. I can feel a breeze coming out. A breeze?
Indeed.
There's likely an open space on the other side of this wall. Open space? Does that mean... You mean like a hidden room? I think I might know how to open it. Do you know how to open it? Did you figure out some kind of trick or something?
Indeed.
A very easy trick, yes. So easy, I'm not sure you can even call it a trick. I saw a program on that PC that I think controls it. Enter the right password and the door should open right up.
However...
But I don't have a clue what that password might be. All I know, it's probably made up of letters and or numbers. We can't really go from there. Right, that's not nearly enough to go on.
It's true.
I looked through all this paperwork and the files on the PC, everything I could think of. I learned more about him than I had any desire to, but nothing that might have been his password. When I think of how much time I wasted on this... Naja, schauen wir uns nochmal weiter um. A leather chair. I can't imagine a student using something like this. It must have been the headmaster's. The desk is home to a computer. Must have belonged to the headmaster. There's a PC on the desk. It must have belonged to the headmaster.
It would seem...
Whoever used this last, it looks like they were very interested in the ultimate despair. The PC still has some search results left on it. Then we might be able to get some info on the ultimate despair?
However...
There's not much though, nothing we don't already know.
In other words...
The ultimate despair isn't one individual, but instead points to some kind of group. That group is responsible for the tragedy which happened 1 year ago. They're the worst sorts of people whose driving force comes from despair.
However...
And that's all there is. Not much to it, is there? But I guess that's the best he could do as a complete kirigiri failure. But any information about the mastermind is helpful, right? I appreciate whatever info we get our hands on.
Correct.
I see. That's a good outlook to have. The ultimate despair. Yeah. Jeez. So there's a hidden room she couldn't get into. That's what she meant by regret. I think we can assume that there must be some kind of clue waiting in there. But maybe for her, there's more to it than that. Anyway, if we want to get in there, we need to figure out the password. And if Kyoko can't figure it out, no way do I stand a chance. No, wait, there might be a chance. The password could be something Kyoko wouldn't have thought of, or something she didn't want to think of. For example, what about your name?
What?
Huh? Oh, sorry, I was just trying to think of what the password might be. I'm sure she hasn't tried it. I mean, it's totally understandable. After the way she talked about her dad, the idea that he would use her name as his password, knowing how she is, I bet the idea never even occurred to her. Do you mind if I try it, just to be sure?
Well,
It's not like you need my permission. If you want to try it, try it. Do whatever you want. Okay. You know, I'm glad I thought of trying Kyoko's name. But if that's not it, that might just hurt Kyoko even more.
hey,
If you're worried about me, Makoto, don't be. I already know that your guess is wrong. Okay. In that case, here goes nothing. I collected myself, then turned to face the computer monitor. Let me just type the password here. I typed in her full name, Kyoko Kirigiri. My hands were tense, slightly trembling, and as I finished typing it in... What? That did it? Kyoko, it worked! Ich glaube, das findet sie nicht so toll. Weil sie damit ihr Bild von ihrem Vater so ein bisschen überdenken muss.
why?
Kyoko? Without looking at me, she disappeared into the hidden room. She looked grim. Kyoko. Folgen wir ihr mal. Hey, Kyoko. I may as well not even have been in the room. Her gaze was fixed on only one thing. A present? Wrapped and covered with such joy. That's what made it so unusual. Gibt aber auch andere Dinge hier. I'd better check out the suspicious present before I do anything. Ja gut, dann machen wir das zuerst. There's a brightly colored box here. It seems totally out of place in here. The more I look at it, the more suspicious I get. Should we open it? I'm getting kind of a bad vibe from it. But I mean, we can't not open it. Okay.
Makoto.
Be careful, Makoto. Why, you think it's dangerous? No, not dangerous. But surprising, probably. Huh?
It would seem...
If it is what I think it is, at the very least, it's not something you'll be happy to see. Wait, so you know what's in there?
Anyway,
Just don't scream or anything, okay? Are you saying it's something that might make me want to scream? Okay, I'm just gonna open it. Step by heavy step, I approached the box. I took a deep breath, then took hold of the lid. Slowly, ever so slowly, I lifted it up. Light began to sneak its way into the box. I stole a hesitant glance inside and... Kyoko's advice was no use. I let out a trembling cry. What was in the box? It was bones. Human bones. It was the last thing I expected to find in such a bright, joyful box. I mean, who could have possibly imagined...
I see.
Just as I thought. What? What was in the box? It was wrapped up all nice, so I never would have guessed what it was inside. Human bones. Just as you thought? How could you have known that? I mean, there were bones in there. Human bones.
Wrong.
Well, it's not that I was thinking of the bones specifically. I just had a feeling it would be his body. But that's pretty much the same thing. A dead guy in a box. My father. Huh? What about him?
Correct.
What you found in the box? Those bones. That body. That's my father. Or at least, what's left of him. Are you serious? This is Kyoko's dad? The same man she's been searching for? Hold on, how can you know that for sure? How do you know that's him?
So...
Given all the information we have already, that's the only possible answer. So that same person may very well be the mastermind who planned all this out.
And according to the files, the headmaster is a man in his late 30s. It seems possible, even likely, that he's somewhere in the school right now. It's a very polarizing approach, I know, but okay, enough puns. Anyway, here's a hint. I'm sure I told you this already, but this killing game began with 16 participants, all of them high school students, and the only people to take a single step in Hope's Peak since the killing game began are those 16 students. Alter Ego said that the headmaster was probably here in the school. The only ones who were alive at the start of the killing game were us 16 students. When you put those two ideas together, it doesn't take much to assume
In other words,
that most likely my father was in this school, but he was also dead. That's my assumption anyway. As Kyoko explained her analysis, she was completely calm. Or no, she wasn't calm. She was only trying to seem calm. She said it was just as she thought, so she knew it was a possibility. But I have to believe that at some point she wanted to be proven wrong. Which is why she never looked in the box herself, even though she had plenty of chances. I know Kyoko said she wanted to see her father, so she could cut off all ties. But was that all there was to it? I gave up some of that pride. In order to enter Hope's Peak, I had to reveal myself to the school. I did it knowing it was something a true Kirigiri detective would never do. Would she really give up her pride just for that? I couldn't help but wonder. Hidden room present, huh? The headmaster's desk. It's probably hiding some kind of clue, so I really want to check it out, but I really don't want to touch Kyoko's dad's desk without her permission.
hey,
Don't worry about me. Feel free to look around as much as you like. Are you sure?
because
Never let anything get in the way of the investigation. I don't. Okay then, if you don't mind. Starting from the top, I opened all the desk drawers and looked inside. I rummaged through each one, finding nothing but unrelated documents. But in the last drawer... is this... It's an e-handbook, right? And it has a label on it that says, "In case of emergency." I'd found some kind of emergency handbook in the headmaster's desk.
in other words,
A handbook with no limitations given to the school's ultimate authority, the headmaster. I'm assuming that's what it is. I think you're probably right.
it would seem
It might prove useful as we continue our investigation. Why don't you hold on to it? But Kyoko, I don't need it. If you don't want it, go ahead and leave it here. Then, I guess I'll take it. Is it really okay? Das könnten wir brauchen. Ansonsten gibt's noch... Erstmal den Schrank und dann sehen wir uns noch das Bild an. This filling cabinet seems like the kind of place you'd find a clue. I should take a closer look. But I don't think Kyoko would like some stranger like me touching her dad's stuff.
hey,
It's fine, check whatever you want. Are you sure? Okay then. I went through each drawer one by one, starting from the top. But all I found were piles and piles of unrelated documents. He was pretty dedicated to his job, huh?
well,
It's just because he didn't have anything else. He could have inherited our family business, our legacy. Instead, he left it all behind.
now,
If he couldn't even handle a job like this, he would have been that much more of a failure. I'm sure he couldn't stand the thought of that, and it made him desperate. Und was ist das? Huh? This picture? It's all faded. It must be pretty old. Wait, is this a picture of... Hey, Kyoko!
why would you?
Well, this is annoying. I came here to cut myself free of the past. And yet... to now find something like this? So what do you expect me to do now?
Then I was right. It's a picture of Kyoko when she was a little girl. Knowing the headmaster had his picture all this time, he must have really cared about her.
Why?
Why? What? I wanted to face him and tell him myself. To cut him out of my life for abandoning me. That's the whole reason I came here. And now he's abandoned me again. And this time he even stole the only opportunity I had to move on. Has there ever been a worse father? Kyoko.
Hey,
Listen, Makoto. Huh? Can I ask you a favor? A favor? What is it?
so...
I know it's completely unreasonable to ask you this. And I know it'll only inconvenience you that much more, but...
Hey,
Could you leave? Huh?
correct.
Just for a little while. I'd just like to be alone for a bit. Kyoko. Don't worry, I'm fine. I just need to calm down a little. I need
Just a second.
get my emotions in order. Ich glaube, vor allem braucht sie einen Moment der Schwäche. You know, Kyoko, you told me before about the relationship you had with your dad. How you're only connected by blood, not by heart and soul. But maybe that picture motivated him. Maybe he hoped to maybe that picture motivated him. Maybe he hoped to see me again someday. Is that what you were going to say? If so, it's just a theory. And this isn't an issue that can be settled with theories. That picture doesn't change the facts of what happened, what I went through. That problem can't be solved so easily. You're right. I'm sorry.
Anyway,
Once I've got myself under control, I'll return to the investigation immediately. So please, just give me some time to myself. Okay, I understand. Then, I'll see you later. Is she really okay? Kyoko. It must have been a complete shock to her. I mean, it was a shock to me. Did you find out what happened to the headmaster? There's no doubt the mastermind performed that evil deed. They killed the headmaster, killed Kyoko's father. They killed him. The headmaster is dead. The one leading the Hope's Peak staff, the one who finalized the plan to isolate you, was the Hope's Peak headmaster. So that same person may very well be the mastermind who planned all this out. And according to the files, the headmaster is a man in his late 30s. It seems possible, even likely, that he's somewhere in the school right now. But we were wrong about that. The headmaster wasn't the mastermind. Which means the mastermind's true identity is...
It's a very polarizing approach, I know, but okay, enough puns. Anyway, here's a hint. I'm sure I told you this already, but this killing game began with 16 participants, all of them high school students, and the only people to take a single step in Hope's Peak since the killing game began are those 16 students.
15 of us met in the mail hall. Add Mukuro to the mix and you get 16. And including me, only 6 of us are still alive. Everyone else is dead. Even Mukuro. Even she's undeniably dead. So the ones still left alive are me, Byakuya, Hiro, Toko, Hina, and Kyoko. Only those 6 people are still alive. Then there's no question. Wait, no! That can't be. I refuse to believe it. There has to be some other way. There just has to be. Naja, es gibt noch einen Bereich, den wir uns auf jeden Fall ansehen können. Und ich denke, die Folge ist schon relativ lang, da kann ich mir auch das noch ansehen. Ich wollte das Gebiet halt abhaken. Sehen wir uns jetzt mal an, was in den jeweiligen Teilen drin ist. Hier, den konnten wir uns ansehen. What if we can open this locker? Das hatten wir doch. My Handbook? Wieso? Du hast doch dein spezielles. Wait, but... What about the emergency handbook I found in the headmaster's hidden room? Okay, let's give it one more try. I took the emergency handbook and ran it across the card reader and... Alright, just what I was hoping for. Now let's see what we've got inside. I don't see anything that might be a clue. Gehen wir weiter durch. Looks like the locker opened. No. I don't see anything that might be a clue. Irgendwo werden wir hier doch was finden. So. Nope. Da ist daneben. This thing is practically empty. There's just one thing, some kind of pocketbook. I don't see a name written on it, so I can't say for sure whose it is. But there's some writing inside. It could be important. I don't like violating the owner's privacy, but I'd better take a look. Looks like a girl's handwriting. And all the letters are spaced out evenly, like whoever wrote them was measuring them. Whoever wrote this must have been really meticulous. Huh? I was flipping through the pocketbook, but my hand froze when I got to a certain page. I saw something familiar written there. Words I'd heard before. There's a plan to turn Hope's Peak into a shelter and isolate the students here in a communal life. I decided to talk to the one who came up with the plan directly. It just so happens to be the headmaster. And my father. He was willing to give me some more details regarding the plan. Here's what he said. The point is to keep our student prodigies safe, to keep them as our hope for the future. Only their genius can overcome disaster, and only their hope can overcome despair. For the future of our country, our world, it's not an exaggeration to call this our final hope. We must isolate our superior youth from the corrupted world to serve as the foundation for a new era. This is the only hope we have. I hope that you'll be willing to go along with this plan. So that's what my father had to say to me. As usual, he made a selfish decision without consulting anyone else. I can't imagine a worse father. This can't be true, can it? But I knew it was, and I knew exactly who the pocketbook belonged to. Kyoko. It couldn't be anyone else. But if this belongs to Kyoko, what was it doing in this locker? And what she wrote here completely contradicts what she already told me. She said she hasn't seen her dad since he left when she was little. I decided to talk to the one who came up with the plan directly. It just so happens to be the headmaster. And my father. What does this all mean? I quickly scanned the remaining pages of the notebook. I must have been looking for something that would prove me wrong about this whole thing. But when I reached the last page, the question mark spinning through my mind just started spinning that much faster. When I looked at it, unlike the rest of the pocketbook, the writing here was messy, disorganized, scrawled. What is this? What does it mean? I have no idea. How could this possibly make any sense? A despair walks among us, and so we survive. There's a second despair. Ich glaube, das ist dann auch alles, was man hier findet, aber ich bin mir nicht sicher. So, dann gibt es noch hier den. Und damit haben wir die wichtigen Sachen gefunden. Oh, hier ist auch was. This locker is totally disorganized. Whoever it belongs to probably has organization problems with every part of their life. Tja, da kennen wir doch einen, zu dem das passt. This is a crystal ball. A crystal ball? No, it can't be. There's no way he ever used this locker. It's just not possible. Ist das ein Hinweis? Is this a deck of playing cards? No, the tarot cards. But wait. Aren't those used for telling fortunes? It's just a coincidence, right? There's all kinds of textbooks and notebooks stacked up in no particular order. And dust everywhere. I have to assume whoever stuff this is didn't do a lot of studying. Not that I can really talk. Trying to act as casual and natural as possible. I picked up one of the notebooks I saw. But the moment I looked inside the notebook, any sense of easiness I may have had evaporated. Yasuhiro Hagakure. Yeah. What? There was no denying what I saw. Inside the notebook was written Yasuhiro Hagakure. Is this our Yasuhiro? The notebook also contained a large number of notes for a variety of different classes. Which would mean he attended classes here? No, that can't be possible. I mean, Hiro came to the school at the same time as the rest of us. And we were all sucked into this evil world. We never had the chance to take any classes. So what is this notebook? Locker notebook has been added to the truth bullets section of your handbook. Damit haben wir alle Hinweise gefunden. But the more I see, the less sense it makes. Because these lockers, I mean, they had to belong to the previous students, right? So why am I seeing this? Why are there things in the lockers that look like they belong to people here? A notebook that seems like it belongs to Hiro, and a pocketbook that seems like it belongs to Kyoko. There has to be some kind of explanation. But if I want to find that out, I have to keep moving the investigation forward. And I have to believe in everyone. Und ja, da würde ich sagen, machen wir jetzt hier einen Schnitt. Die Folge ging ja ewig heute. Ihr könnt ja mal eure Gedanken und Ideen in den Kommentaren lassen, wenn euch was dazu einfällt. Ich hoffe, ihr habt Spaß, lasst konstruktive Kritik da, vielleicht ein Däumchen nach oben. Wir sehen uns beim nächsten Mal wieder, wenn es wieder ist Let's Play Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc im Endspurt. Bis dahin, Cheerio.